Hi guys, and welcome to one more review, this time the Leisurely Audio L8S. Okay, this is the box that it comes in. The L8S is an 8BA IEM. So you open it up, the case comes over there, which is this case over here. Okay, so decent enough case, comes over there, brings some tips, cleaning tool, cleaning cloth. The IMs sit over there with the wire coming around, and yeah, that's basically it. I mean, very simple packaging, nothing too outlandish in terms of the accessories. The cable is a cable which is basically the same cable. Well, this that I've got here is actually the cable of the Jazeer 41T, and in essence the cable of the Leisurely is exactly the same thing, just with different plug at one end and different connections for the earphone. The way that it actually fits in there. Anyway, this is the actual IEM itself. Beautiful little resin shell with 8 BAs inside. The BAs used are a mix of Sonion and Knowles. I've actually got here, if you give me just a second, I'll actually let you know exactly what are the BAs being used. Okay, so it's got dual 38 D1Xs for the bass, which those of you that know what the 38 D1X is will know that it's a beast of a BA when it comes to bass. It's the exact same thing that is used in, for example, the Neon Pro, which I've got sitting over there, the All Audio Neon Pro, the likes of the Duno SA6, and many other IEMs. And then it has two Sonion 33 AJs for mid bass and lower mid applications, Sonion 2389 for mids and upper mids, and Knowles 31736 as well. So it's always two of each, two. So in terms of the hardware, it's well implemented. Let's put it that way. Well chosen, well implemented. Nice shell, nicely put together. Like I said, the cable is exactly the same as this cable, just that the terminations are different. I don't have it here with me. I actually don't know where I put the cable, to be honest with you, because I've had this IM now for a while, and I've been listening to it carefully, and so that I give you guys a honest and fair evaluation of it. I've tested some Leisurely Audio stuff before in the past, the L6 and the L8P, as it's now known. The L8P and the L8S are in essence the same IEM, same 8 BAs, just that the L8P is tuned for live audio applications, so to be used on a stage and so on. And so what that basically translates to is that the upper mids and treble are emphasized quite a bit, so that they can counteract stage noise and overcome whatever needs to become overcome in terms of outside interference, let's put it that way, so that the sound comes across nice and clean. The L8S, this one, is the complete opposite. It's been tuned to be musical. It's been tuned to be used for a wide variety of genres, and so everything is totally different. It's got a more, let's say, normal curve. Okay. Why do I have here only just one IM to compare it with? I mean, I could be comparing it here with a whole bunch of IMs. Well, to put it very simply, when I first heard the L8S, I was like, okay, this plays really different compared to the L8P, or the L8 as it was known before. But the tips weren't helping. The tip that I was using at the time wasn't helping, and there was still a little bit of peakiness around 5, 6, 7. It was still a little bit overemphasized. So I started playing around with tips, and then I found, then I used my '07 in the blue ones, which is actually is the same tip that I use on the Neon Pro, as you can see. And when I did that, then I kind of said, okay, this sounds very familiar, really familiar, and it sounds just like a Neon Pro. However crazy that might sound, however crazy of a bold statement that is the truth. Actually, to be fair, um, I was first reminded of the Neon, the original Neon, and the Neon compared to the Neon Pro. The difference is very simple. The Neon has the bass setting of the on position of the Neon Pro, so it's like the Neon Pro always has the bass boost on, okay, and the treble is a little bit less intense as compared to a little bit less treble, a little bit less air, just a smidge. I mean, honestly, the difference is minimal as compared to the Neon Pro, and this actually reminded me more of the Neon than the Neon Pro. Um, Afterwards, with a little bit more burning in, with a little bit more time and so on, it, I don't know, graphically the differences are not noticeable. You can maybe say, okay, no, this is brain burn. You can, you can use a whole bunch of reasons, or try to find a whole bunch of reasons to understand why this is so. But the reality is, now, after a good 100 hours, I would say, that the L8S now has on it, it sounds, I would say, 94-95% like a Neon Pro. Um, the bass is, it's the same. The bass is amazing. Um, Really nothing that can be faulted there. The mid's amazing, the same sort of pinna gain, the continuation for the first part of that pinna gain up to about 4, basically the same. Then there's a little bit of a difference there, but minimal, and then extension past 10k as well, spot on. I mean, I know that the Neon Pro also uses 38 D1Xs and 33s, if I'm mistaken. I believe it's also 2389s for the upper mids and treble, and 31736 is for the treble, although I think it's 4. So in essence, the difference here is only 2 drivers, and it's only the 2 treble drivers that's the difference. There is also a slight difference in terms of impedance. So when you connect one and you connect the other with the same volume setting, you will see that the L8S plays just a little bit louder, but it's very, I mean, it's minimal, the difference. But once you've adjusted the volume so that it's the same on both of them, trust me, you're gonna be really hard pressed to be able to distinguish between the two of them. That's how good, and that's how impressive actually the L8 is. Where then do we see differences occurring? Well, I'll show you. We see differences, for example, in Up and Up from Jeff Ryan. We see differences in La Belle Dance Sans Remorse from Chris Botti. And the differences is the Neon Pro is just a little bit less intense in those trumpet sounds, just a little bit more polished. But I mean, the difference honestly is very, very minute. Very minute. If on the other hand I take a song like In a Sentimental Mood from Cecil Norby, it's like I'm listening to the same IM. Honestly, I could have left channel the Neon, right channel the L8S, and it's indistinguishable. Another song as well that the similarities are very close, from Dusk to Dawn from George Duke. Honestly, I was really struggling to pick up major differences. Minute differences here and there, but look, it's like I say, under normal listening conditions, when you're just listening to music to enjoy it, and you're not really trying to look for differences, trying to look for details, which you won't pick up on it. You will not pick up on it. Tequila Moon from Jesse J, the same. Neon Pro or L8S, they sound exactly the same. Musical Genocide from Gregory Porter, the same thing. El Fado, actually from Dominic Miller, was one of the few songs where the Neon Pro just sounds a little bit bigger in terms of its soundstage. Okay, it's just a little bit more. High Stepping from Larry Carlton. Well, it's difficult to explain. It has to do with the way the guitar and the cymbals come across. You also see that the Neon Pro does it just a little bit cleaner, okay? But it's very, very minimal, the differences there. Otherwise, a song like "Feels Good" from Rashawn Peterson, I actually enjoyed it more on the L8S as well. Again, it's a very small difference, but I enjoyed it more there. House of Groove, it's the same on either one of them. Riviera, that's a song that actually has a nice bass line. Prefer it on the L8S, to be honest. Again, when I say I prefer one or I prefer the other, I'm talking very small differences. Yeah, I'm talking really, really small differences. Let me see another one here. Sunrise, the live version from Larry Carlton. Again, another song that you could sense a little bit more of soundstage on the Neon Pro. A little bit more, okay? Puerto Banús from Paul Hardcastle. Again, the L8S just edges out slightly the Neon Pro, but people, trust me, these are really minimal differences, okay? In terms of just quickly breaking down all of this into more concrete terms, bass, quick, it's a nice, fast, impactful bass. It's clean, it goes deep, it has good sub bass, good mid bass. If you guys like the bass on the Neon Pro, you will like the bass here because it's the same bass. End of story. Okay, mids, same thing. Male vocals, female vocals, spot on. Timbre and tonality, spot on. Beautifully done. So in terms of mids and how the mids are portrayed, nothing that can be pointed as a negative aspect on the L8S. Female vocals, and I mean, I could Diana Krall, Cecile Norby, Jessie J. Sorry, not Jessie J. Carol Duboc. Flawless, seriously flawless. Treble. That's the area, and maybe perhaps it's down to the fact that there's 4 BAs here doing treble. That's the area where you see the Neon Pro just a little bit more polished in the way that it presents itself. Okay, just a little bit more polished, not a huge difference. That's why I said 94-95% the same. Okay. A song which I really was impressed, because it's the song that I use quite often to as well position things, is The Sea from Haven. Beautiful song. I mean, you guys have got to listen to the song. Magical on either one of them. Either one of these two IEMs does that song on the dot. Let me see here what else. Joanna from Sevdaliza, amazing song as well. Again, be it Neon Pro or be it the L8S, beautiful. Candace Springs, Piece of Me, a song that personally, I felt the L8S just slightly edged out the Neon Pro, but on the other hand, Blackbird from Lady Blackbird, the Neon Pro slightly edged out the L8S. So, look, guys, this is the truth. The L8S, I don't know, I don't care who copied who. All I do know is that the L8, the original L8, has been out for over 2 years. So about the same time as the Neon Pro. What I do know is that when I tested it, I said, and I mentioned to them in the review and then in an email, I mentioned to them that it should be retuned, or then make another version where it's more tame, because that is not an IM that you will enjoy listening to music, because it's just too intense. And well, it seems that somehow that must have come to their attention, or maybe other people also mentioned the same thing, because I know some other reviewers also reviewed Leisurely Audio, although there's not many. And the reality is they did this and they did it well. They did it really well. And when I show you another graph next, you'll see what I'm saying when I mean it's the same thing basically. So yeah, I mean, guys, what can I say? In terms of pricing, it's around $380. So you know, quite a big chunk of money cheaper than the Neo Pro. You know, which could make you beg the question: is the Sonion and stuff inside there real Sonion or not? Look, I don't know. I honestly don't know. All I know is that it costs $380. It's very well built, and it plays flawlessly, absolutely flawlessly. You know, if you told me it was $500, I would accept it as well for $500. Not an issue. I wouldn't say anything against it. Even perhaps $600, I would still say it's an acceptable. I would accept it based on the performance that it has. And that's it, guys. I mean, you know, technically, like I said, good soundstage, good imaging, good detail retrieval. You know, all those main resolution is spot on. All those pillars of good technicalities are there. It just slightly loses to the Neon Pro in terms of the soundstage. Soundstage on the Neon Pro is a little bit larger. Okay, but imaging, detail retrieval, the rest, it's the same thing, neck on neck. Timbre and tonality as well. Well done. I mean, considering it's an all BA set, the tonality, especially of the bass, is very nice. Very nice. It hasn't, you know. Ultimately, when you are trained and you've really listened to a lot of IEMs, yes, you will pick up on it. Okay, this is a BA IEM here. This is an IEM that has ESTs. This is a DD. Right? Yes, you do pick up on it. But I think that the majority of people will not be able to confidently say, no, this is an all BA set. This has probably got a DD here somewhere. Because there's no hint of that usual timbre tonality, that coldness. That it's not there, at least not there in a flagrantly blatant way. You know, it's been very well tuned, the IM. That's the truth, guys. I'll show you now the graphs and we'll wrap it up. All right, you take care now. Hi guys, and this is now the graph section for the Leisurely Audio L8S. And well, let me just put the L8S so you guys can see it. That's it. There's the L8S for you. Everything stays within a window of 70 to 79, roughly 9 dBs more or less. I wouldn't really say it's mid-bass focused. I mean, it's there's a little bit of a bleed here into the mids, but it's nothing that you really notice or anything. Especially also, you know, you have to consider it's a BA. A little bit of a roll off into the sub bass, but minimal. I don't even consider this a roll off. Then a nice progressive pinna gain, kind of peaks initially there too, then carries on, then goes up a little bit more, carries on, you know, some couple of related peaks and so on, drops and some extension past 10k. I mean, nice and smooth as can be, no real, I mean, okay. And this now is the graph. Actually, let me put this in a different color so we can try and see it. I'm gonna put it in black. Okay, so what is up now there is the graph of the Neon Pro with the bass switch on. I mean, same thing, everything stays within a window of 9-10 dBs at the very most. Bass is for the most part the same, okay. I mean, you can't really, you know. Then also the same kind of rise of the pinna gain, and then carries on a little bit more plateaued, so there's not much of that. There isn't that step here that you see on the leisurely. So the leisurely, you have there a step of maybe like a dB or 2 at the very most. You don't have that on the Neon Pro. Basically stays flat, and then, you know, drops off slightly, couple related peak and extension past 10k. What are the differences here really? A little bit more extension on the Neon Pro, which is to be expected if it's got also 2 more BAs for the treble, and just the way that this area here is executed is probably what justifies there being just that little smidge more cleanliness in the upper mids and in the treble, and I mean it's very minor. Otherwise, I mean, trust me, you guys know that I like the Neon Pro a lot. The Neon Pro is one of my references. The Neon Pro is one of those IEMs that, you know, if you haven't heard a good BA set, trust me, you will not be disappointed by the Neon Pro. But the truth is, the Leisurely Audio L8S does have its magic, and I'm just as surprised as you guys are. I mean, just for the sake of comparison, so that you guys can understand where we initially started out with the Leisurely Audio L8. Okay, this is the Leisurely Audio L8, the original one. Okay, where is that? I believe it's this one. Yeah, exactly. That's the Leisurely Audio L8. So let me just align everything for you guys. There we go. All right, that's the Leisurely Audio L8. So in essence, a lot of it was already very similar. You know, it was very similar to the, let me just take away the Neon Pro. It was already very similar to the L8S. You know, it was just this area of the upper mids and treble that was just more emphasized. And by being more emphasized, it just made it for a very unnecessarily bright and, you know, sound, and it became fatiguing. It just was too much, and you noticed more that BA timbre and tonality. And well, Leisurely Audio, like I said, maybe paid attention to what I mentioned, and also what a few others probably also mentioned to them, and they toned it down, and it's perfect now. I mean, I guess you can't really complain. And that's it, guys. Like and subscribe. Any questions, please feel free to ask, and I'll do my best as usual to answer as quickly as possible. You take care now. Bye bye.